Well, for our weekly feature now, with reducing land sizes as the population continues to grow, dairy farmers are no longer able to produce enough feed for their cows. In a fresh drive to mitigate this, a group of farmers from a non-traditional dairy area have come to the rescue and are growing fodder for sale, a strategy expected to help increase production, improve access to milk, and increasing incomes for rural small-scale farming families. On this week's episode of The Next Frontier, Philip Kitani was in Homabay and brings us the innovative approaches farmers from that end have taken up.
Smallholder dairy farmers in Kenya produce 80% of the milk consumed. This has been pegged on a seasonal rainfall pattern, which has traditionally been fluctuating, thus leading to milk scarcity during the dry season and surplus during the rainy season. This has to a great extent affected the milk production, which has led to a fluctuation in raw milk process prices. Seasonality in milk production is a major impediment to sustainable development of the Kenya dairy industry, which affect growth in local and export markets.
We realized that there was a big gap in feeding animal feeds. That's when we started targeting farmers who are able to produce fodder, specifically as business, to be able to support and to be able to sustain the farmers who are doing dairy farming, strictly as dairy farming.
With a large dairy cow population of more than 3.5 million cows, Kenya has in the past been self-sufficient in milk and milk product production, often producing surplus for exports. However, recent studies show that the growth population and increased per capita milk consumption is rising ahead of growth in supply due to low productivity, dependence on rain-fed fodder, and limited processing capacity.
We are doing the irrigation twice a week, and I'm irrigating from Lake Victoria. And the water there is plenty of water. And normally I only do the irrigations during the dry seasons.
To reverse the high dependency on rain-fed fodder, farmers in Homabay have been able to grow fodder thanks to a training spearheaded by the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, and the Kenya Agricultural Value Enterprises Project, KEVS. From this venture, it is certain that stable milk production can only be achieved with investment in fodder production and conservation, a culture that is yet to develop in Kenya.
We have been working with such farmers to introduce them to the better seed varieties which have a potential to improve production. So we are targeted like the leguminous crops like the desmodium and the lucerne.
Fodder is critical in dairy production because it constitutes 70% of daily animal feed requirements, with feed supplements supplying other 30%. Storage in fodder thus results in poor animal body condition, low milk production, low fertility, and vulnerability to diseases. This therefore denies smallholder farmers the much needed income in milk and calf sales, and hence perpetuates poverty among small dairy farmers.
Behind me here is the Mombasa Road crop, which is for fodder, animal feed, that is. And Mombasa Road is one of the most important source of crude protein and a high dry matter value for our crops, especially those in the dairy farming.
As a result of the program, over 36,320 acres of fodder and pasture has been established or rehabilitated since 2013, while 60 hay collection centers have been constructed or rehabilitated. From the USAID-led program that has been running for the last 4 years, over 800,000 bales of hay have been realized. The initiative has seen milk production rise, and counties have been able to cut down on hay imports from other counties.
Mombasa Road is when the field is 50% under flowering.
Yeah.
That is when it has the highest crude protein and is a recommended stage.
To scale up this initiative, KEVS, in partnership with 22 county government in collaboration with the stakeholders including dairy farmers, fodder farmers, commercial seed suppliers, private sector technology suppliers, financiers, and research institute, has been organizing workshops for purposes of sharing viable strategies, including highlighting investment opportunities in fodder production and commercialization. With the majority of dairy farmers in the country being small-scale farmers, reducing land sizes has seen them struggle to feed their animals. But now with farmers from other regions of the country that dairy is not doing that well, are now growing fodder that is now helping their counterparts in the dairy-rich regions. Philip Keitang for The Next Frontier.